Welcome to another episode of Not Too Deep. I'm Grace Helbig, your host. This episode, as always, is very exciting. We have Remi Cruz. You know her as what we call influencers in the biz. She is a lifestyle guru on YouTube. She's also got a hilariously adorable podcast, Pretty Basic, with her friend Alicia. She's just like a genuinely hilarious, fun, like beauty guru. She's a girl that's got it together, then also doesn't, like what I relate to very much. So enjoy this episode with Remi Cruz.
Not too deep.
I bet you have great ideas that you are itching to turn into a reality. Well, guess what? Squarespace is here for you. They make it easier than ever to launch your passion project, whether you're showcasing your work or selling products of any kind. They have beautiful templates and the ability to customize just about anything. You can easily make a beautiful website all on your own. But if you get stuck, Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support is there to help. Head to squarespace.com/grace for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code GRACE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Not too deep. Not too deep. With Grace Helbig.
Remi Cruz.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Previously, Remi Ashton, rebranding.
Thank you. No one ever calls it out. Thank you so much.
I like it. I think it's great. I asked because I was like, am I tweeting to the wrong person? I don't want this to be a fake account. And I don't want to also offend her if she's like, that's my, I didn't know if you got a secret divorce or something and that was your last name and you changed it back. And I was like, I don't know all the details of this.
That's way more exciting than when I was 18, decided to use my middle name because I wasn't supposed to use my last name on YouTube at the time.
Oh, really?
Because my parents were like, absolutely not. And then once it came out, I was like, well, I hate my middle name. Why did I do this to myself? And then I've been trying to subtly do it. And then I get offended now when I go out and people are like, Remi Ashton. I'm like, no one's paying attention.
I saw it happen.
Thank you.
So you signed up for YouTube when you're 18-ish.
Well, this channel I started when I was in my main channel now, when I was 18. And then I've been watching YouTube forever.
Yeah.
And then before this, I had other channels and then I always deleted them. So this one, 18, I really started probably 15, 16.
Okay. But your parents knew?
Yes. Well,
ish.
They knew what was happening. They didn't understand. They just thought I was making videos in my bedroom.
Which is, for parents, you're like, what the fuck is that?
Exactly. Especially Asian parents. When I was supposed to be doing my homework, they weren't too happy about it.
So they told you couldn't use your last name for safety reasons.
No. Well, also, it's just I started as a beauty guru.
Sure.
So all the girls were always, it was Miss Blank, your middle name, or
right.
Blair Fowler, or was it all those little usernames like that? So it wasn't a
Juicy
well-known
Star,
thing.
yeah.
Juicy Star 07.
I loved all of those names.
I grew up as such a fangirl of everybody, of everyone.
Oh, I remember watching my first makeup tutorial online and being obsessed. I was in New York and this producer guy was like, you and your friend should make parodies of these beauty gurus. And I was like, what does that mean? Oh. And then I went and I was like, I love this. I genuinely love this. I went down a wormhole of being like, yeah, show me all your hauls.
Oh,
show
completely.
me everything you bought from Forever 21.
Michelle Phan did a video of how to stretch your shoes with ice or something. And I was like, I'm here. I don't even wear heels. I'm here for this.
She made a video of how to get your makeup compact back in when you've dropped it.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, all of my makeup looks like that.
You just go take it, you throw it on the ground so you can do it.
I loved it. Okay, so tell me what went through your brain when you made your first video.
On that channel, on the one now, I had just gotten my driver's license, and I was really stoked. So I drove but I didn't have much money. Okay. So I drove myself to Walmart, and I was going to student council camp, summer camp.
Wait, hold on. Okay, pause for 1 second. You went to student council camp?
Yes. So it was a leadership camp.
Okay.
Held at the University of California, Santa Barbara.
Okay.
I was going for my first year, I believe. No, second year. Okay. I was a real veteran at this time, and I drove myself to Walmart, and it was a leadership thing where they taught you how to be a good student council member, but then also these are the crazy party kids of high school. I don't know what I was doing there, trust me.
Wait, this was crazy party kids in the student council camp?
I feel everybody in ASB, it's at schools and high school is either the cool kids or the really lame ones who just wanted to participate.
Sure.
My school was the coolish kids. I don't know how I got on. Well, actually, mine was an interview process. That's how I got on. I didn't get voted in. And so they would throw these dances at night that were these honest ragers.
Cool.
And they were themes. And it was but it was student council camp. So like within reason.
Yeah, girl, look, I went to Latin club camp like 4 times.
Where was this held?
All different colleges, but when you're in high school and you get to spend a week on a college campus.
Without your parents?
And you turn your sheet into a toga and you're like, I'm the coolest fucking person that's ever lived.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I had to prep myself for this ASB camp, obviously.
Yeah.
So I went to Walmart and the theme was like Disney and like under the sea. So I bought myself like a sequin top.
Yes.
And a Disney fanny pack. And then I hauled it when I got home on my MacBook. And that is, no, it's private. And now it's going to say it's
I'm like, please, someone go find this. Amazing. So that was what, 5-6 years ago?
That was, I think, coming up on 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so nuts.
I can't believe that.
I mean, I was listening to you and Alicia's podcast this morning.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No. I say that too. Anytime people are like, I looked at anything, I'm like, ugh.
I apologize.
I think it's really, really cool what you guys are doing right now because I was like, whoa, they're so candid on this. And it's the episode that you guys are talking about the stress of having to like grow up with your audience and not be afraid to change and not be afraid to be like, I'm like, you're 23, 4?
24, yeah.
24. Like, I'm 24 now. I'm not 18 anymore. So I'm going to be talking about drinking and dating and things like that. And because that's what my life is right now. And if you're going to want to watch me for authenticity, this is authentically what I'm going through right now.
Exactly.
I thought that was really cool. And it was really fun to listen to 2 friends talk about the pressure and stress of it all. My bigger question is like, how did this podcast come about? Like, did you guys feel like boxed in by videos and want to be able to talk more like openly about everything?
Well, first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
Basically, I honestly don't listen to podcasts. I don't even really listen to my own. So I'm still very new.
I forget everything. I will forget everything we talk about immediately when I leave this room.
It's what we've already talked about. I don't even remember. I have no idea. So I think for me, it was never really an idea. And I remember basically one day, it was like September of last year. Like I've always really loved doing YouTube. I feel like with my channel being a lifestyle channel, I'm able to really kind of change the content. So I don't really get too bored, but I know a lot of people get boxed in with that kind of stuff. So I understand that. But I was just happy with YouTube doing that. And then I got a call. Actually, no, my manager sat me down one day in September last year. And they're like, hey, a company came towards you and they want to know if you want to do a podcast. I was like, nah, I don't listen. I don't know. And then the next day I got a call from my agent and Alicia and I both share an agent. Yeah. And he was like, hey, idea, podcast, you and Alicia. Yeah. And without even thinking, I was like, yeah, totally. And so then I was like, well, fuck. I just said no yesterday. And
your manager was like, what?
Exactly. So I had to like make this whole call. I felt very official. I like texted them. I was like, we need to take a call at 3:30, please. Everybody put in your calendar. They called me. They're like, what do you want? I was like, so remember yesterday I said no podcast. I've decided I'm going to do one now with Alicia. It's going to be great. But it was kind of just like because Alicia and I would go out to dinner with our manager or with our agent sometimes, just like hang out. And specifically one story I was telling was about this guy who I like to refer to as Clout Demon that I dated for.
Well, that's the fun thing. I was like, your guys' nicknames for these guys that you've gone on dates with are stellar.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. This specific one is
Clout
very near and dear to my,
Demon.
Clout Demon. Very, very near and dear to my heart. He was actually from a YouTube video. My friend set me up with him because I wanted to do this video where I took a guy on a date and let the followers control it. I was like, this is a great, nothing can go wrong.
That gives me anxiety just hearing about this.
I really don't think I know I didn't think this one through. So I brought him in. And obviously from the name, we know how that played out. And so I was just telling him everything, telling our agent like, oh my God, this. And then she already knew the story. So she was just kind of like jumping in. And then the next couple of days, he was like, you guys need a podcast. Like the people need to hear this because I never talked about dating really ever on my channels before. And it felt very obviously like not scripted, but it's like when you're talking by yourself in a video, you can only say so much. It's not a conversation. So he was just like, this is a whole other side that people need to see. So then I talked to my managers. I was like, podcast, let's do it. And they were like, okay, sounds good. So that's kind of how it came to be. And then also just us being best friends at that time, we were just starting to get close. Yeah. And I feel like there's not really a lifestyle or nobody in that genre of YouTube is doing it. So we're like, let's try it.
That's awesome. And you guys seem to spend so much time together.
Too much time.
But I'm like, how do you podcast with each other without feeling like you've already said everything that you have to say to each other?
That's a good
Because
question.
Mamrie and I podcast together, and we literally, when we come to see each other, are not allowed to talk to each other until we turn microphones on because
So
we know that
smart.
we'll spill the beans
Yeah.
of like stories we want to tell, and then we don't have to go on and like act like it's the first time we've heard a story. But you guys seem to constantly have stuff to say to each other that hasn't already been said. That I'm like, what's going on?
I've actually never thought about it that way. I feel like now that you said it, the podcast is going to be over.
It's
done.
over.
It's
Sorry,
done.
I've ruined it.
That's a good question. Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you have a like code of conduct between the two of you of how much you like how personal you get on the podcast or how much you say about each other or yourselves?
Here's my problem. I am an open book.
Yeah.
She's got boundaries. I know when to stop, and if we say too much, either I get a talking to after or we cut it. Me, I'm just like, la, 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 la. And I'm like, it's fine. It's no big deal. And then I always say a little too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got boundaries with her for sure.
That's good. It's good to understand and respect the other person and then be
Yes.
like, yeah, I'm just going to vomit until you clean it up.
Exactly. Like the editor will take care of it.
Yeah.
It'll only be between us.
Have you ever had someone that you've talked about in the podcast contact you because they've heard it?
Yes. Specifically the one where I talked about losing my virginity.
Uh-huh.
A few days later, I got a very condescending text message about if I wanted to talk about my feelings and what had happened
Wow.
from said person
Wow.
who I thought I had blocked. So that was a rude awakening. So things like that,
Like,
you know?
I didn't even care that he cared. I just like, I'm mad at myself for not blocking
Exactly.
properly.
I need to take a problem up with Apple. I thought that I fully had that number blocked. So things like that.
But that's so, I mean, it's really fun, I think, to hear about the dating life scenario of you. Now, do you feel pressure to that? Like, I have to have dating stories or if I go out on a date, maybe they'll have listened to the fact that I talk about dates candidly.
Well, Alicia, I always tell Alicia that she needs to, when we wrote up the summary of like what the podcast is going to be, we mentioned boy drama.
Right.
So now I feel the need to like bring it.
Yeah.
But Alicia doesn't want to date right now, which is totally fine. So now I feel
So
the
you-
need to
you're doing the
fully
heavy
carry the weight.
lifting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've got to carry that side. She can carry the other stuff. But I've learned, we've done this for like, I think it's coming up on 7 months now.
Cool.
And, I've learned a lot
Yeah.
about what to share and what not to. When we first launched the podcast, the day before it came out, I went on a date
Uh-huh.
and I was like, oh, like telling the guy about it was really cool. And then, the weeks after, it was still new. I didn't really know what to say. I fully went into every detail of our dates with,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned that one the hard way. We
Mm-hmm.
don't talk to him anymore. Now I've learned to really keep things to myself and, talk about it once it's done.
Right.
So that took about 6 months to learn.
Wow. I mean, and it's, but that's part of the charm, it's part of the brand.
Thank you.
Okay. So you went to college for a little bit. You studied psychology.
Yes. Whoa.
I've
Did you
done
get
a
that
little
for
bit
my
of
famous
research.
birthdays?
We do have the most minimal amount of research possible. And basically this whole podcast is me just fact checking to be like, is this true about you? Did you do this? Your brother, you got in a fight over a washing machine?
Oh my God, where did you learn that?
We have a researcher.
Oh, yes. That was a bad time in my life.
But wait, okay. We'll get to the punching him in the face over a washing machine.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
But you went to college for how long?
A year and 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I say 3 weeks because after 2 weeks, you don't get your tuition back. So yes, I learned that one also the hard way.
Wow.
It's a lot of hard life lessons. I learned.
Wow. I didn't
So
know
3
that.
weeks.
Well,
Yeah.
that's helpful for people that,
Yes.
might be
if you're gonna
considering
drop
it.
out, 2 weeks is the cap.
Give yourself that 14-day grace period.
Exactly.
What was because I went to college, and I know a lot of people that have gone and dropped out, and that to me is super scary. Like, what was that decision like for you?
For me, I went into school fully expecting to go into the medical field.
Yeah.
And so I was fully prepared for that. And then once I got to college, I was like, oof, not for me.
Yeah.
This whole learning thing, whole education thing, I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if I can save lives.
Uh-huh.
So I did like the first year of college. It went very horribly wrong for me.
Uh-huh.
And then once I started my second year, at the end of the first year, I asked my parents, like, YouTube started kind of picking up for me, and I sat my parents down, and I was like, can I just try this just like full force? I want to see if I
Yeah.
can do it. My dad, who was paying for college, was like, please take as much time off as you can. My mother, we're obviously I'm Asian, she was like, no, you're going to school, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to do this. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna try. And so I went into my second year, like got a house, like fully like prepared to go.
Yeah.
2 weeks in, I called my parents like hysterically crying. I was like, I can't juggle both. And I really, really, really want to just try this YouTube thing. Like, please let me figure it out. Like, let me just try. Week passes, week 3 that I paid for later. And my mom was finally like, okay, like try it for a year, give it your all. If it works out, cool. If not, you're going back to school. Sorry, I have a sniffle.
You're fine.
And so did that. But then since I had the lease, I got to stay out there. Best year of my life. Got to like hang out with my college friends, did YouTube while they were at class. It was so great. And I just like worked my ass off for that year. And then I think from then I jumped from like 200K to like 700, 800K. So like I grew pretty exponentially during that year.
Yeah.
And then luckily was able to make it a career. Got out and then moved straight to LA.
Wow. And how long ago did you move to LA?
4.5 years, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts. And you were also in a sorority in college?
Yes.
Okay. Do you still get to be in the sorority if you've left?
You know, I don't think so. I get the emails asking for my money.
Yeah.
So maybe. But I remember somehow while dropping out, I still wanted to be a part of the sorority and like live the college life, which I shouldn't have. But I still got to like, I somehow finessed my way into picking up like a little sis, but I didn't go to any meetings. I don't think I was paying for dues anymore. So I remember being in like the weird cult like ceremony and everyone, it was like dark, people were wearing like sheets. I wasn't at the meetings. I didn't know. So I remember being like, fuck, when everyone was like singing these songs and like chants and things. I was just standing there like, how the fuck did I do this? Yeah. But I did it, and she's still my friend, so I did it.
You're basically a wedding crasher, but of paid for.
Exactly, a cult experience.
What was the is it rushing? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
What was that like?
I believe so. Well, my school was pretty lame. We didn't have like sorority houses. There was no hazing, which was great. It was like a week long. Actually, fun fact, I did a video about like my whole process after.
Oh, yeah?
And there was a girl who's on YouTube who I like worshipped, who went to my school before me and was in like one of the really pretty girl sororities. I did not make the cut. So I made this video after like basically talking about how I got cut from all the pretty girl sororities. And I was like really sad, but like home, like, what are those like stereotypical sayings? Whatever, like I don't know. I found my home, blah blah blah. I made this like whole long video.
I found
me, like,
my
crying.
community, my family,
exactly, my family, my sisters for life. Like it's not 4 years, it's for life. I made this like video. I'm like in my dorm room. I'm like crying, and then that like picked up a lot of like traffic from other sorority girls. So now people will come up to me and like, I went through recruitment because of you, and I'm like, oh my.
Oh,
but,
no.
like, it's really embarrassing. And I'm sure that girl that I like went off about in that video about how much I loved her, like watched it. And I see her sometimes at the gym and I'm like, oh my God. Don't look at me. I'm so sorry. I've never said a word to her ever, but like I know she knows me as like the fangirl.
Oh, that's great. I mean, those are the cringes, but your intentions were good.
Thank you.
You know, that's the silver lining and all of that.
Exactly.
We all have those cringe videos that we wish we never made, but at the time we were so confident and that this was important.
This is it, right here.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. And then speaking of the gym, I want to talk to you about fitness journey, all that fun stuff, which I'm sure you're fucking sick of talking about.
Let's do it.
Let's dive into it. We'll be right back with more Not Too Deep.
Not too deep.
Hey, guess what? You got dreams that you want to turn into a reality? I got a company for you. They're called Squarespace. They're back supporting us. Get ready. Here we go. Squarespace makes it easier than ever to launch your passion project. I'm talking, do you want to start a new business, showcase your work, publish content, sell products, or more? Squarespace is the tool for you. Guess what? They got beautiful templates created by world-class designers and the ability to customize just about anything with just a few clicks, so you can easily build a beautiful website all by yourself. Plus, they have a powerful e-commerce functionality that lets you sell anything online and analytics that help you grow your site in real time. And everything is optimized for mobile right out of the box. There is nothing to patch or upgrade ever. Buying domains is simple, and you'll get the help you need with Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support. Squarespace empowers millions of people, from designers to lawyers, artists to gamers, even restaurants and gyms, to turn great ideas into something real. Head to squarespace.com/grace for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use the offer code GRACE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/grace. Offer code GRACE.
Not too deep.
Guess what? This episode of Not Too Deep is brought to you by Skin. There are those among us with an insatiable thirst for adventure, the ones who embrace the unknown with wide-eyed wonder. Although your dreams might take you worlds away, you shouldn't neglect what's right in front of you. Skin's new line of intimate devices is designed to take your pleasure to new, undiscovered places. Like the Skin Vibes, a quiet yet powerful massager made to meet your unique needs and body. Skin Vibes has a curved, sensual shape. It can take you from 0 to O with 20 different speeds and pulsations. Because when it comes to pleasure, there's no one size fits all. Don't settle for monotony. Explore intimacy with Skin Vibes, available for purchase at Rite Aid. Skin. Feel everything. You've had like a major fitness journey, which has become part of this thing, which I know probably in theory was like a really fun and like cool thing to document and like held you accountable and all of that. But it must be stressful as fuck to have, I'm sure, people come up and you've inspired them, of course, and that's wonderful. But now to have to like maintain and obviously like make that part of your content. Mm-hmm. Is that stressful, or is it like, I love doing this, this is great?
Honestly, I'm glad we're talking about this because up until like 2 weeks ago, I feel like I was good. And now, actually maybe like a month ago, that's when I for the first time, I think I kind of hit a wall.
Really?
And for the first time ever, it's been kind of hard for me to get back on it.
Yeah.
Or I feel like I'm doing it still and I'm going through the motions just because I've conditioned myself to do it. It's a routine.
Yeah.
But mentally I'm in a different place now. And it didn't hit me until I just went on like a little live show thing for my podcast with Alicia. And in the meet and greets, I had never talked about it before. And I was kind of like after doing like Coachella, like weekend 1, weekend 2, and like doing all that stuff and just like having fun and then trying to force myself to get back into it. I was like, ooh, like this, I don't want to do this anymore. Like it's hard. And for the first time in a year and a half, I'm having those thoughts. And then going straight to a live show and a meet and greet of people being like, you changed my life. Like, because of you, I've done this. Because of this, like, because of you, I'm getting myself up every day to go to the gym. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, and then the pressure really did hit me in those meet and greets. Yeah. So for the first time ever, I'm feeling that now.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, it must be nuts. I mean, we've had young girls come up to us, but we're like comedy girls. And so it's all very casual. And you guys, you lead with such sincerity about the stuff that you do that it must be really stressful to have people like really young girls come up to you and be like, you change, like you influence, for lack of a better term, how I live my life every day. Like that's kind of nuts. I mean, what's
scary
like,
thing.
Yeah, what's like, so you guys just did a bunch of live shows. What's like the average age of the person that comes to the live show?
To the live shows, there were a good amount of younger girls, but I feel like also with the podcast, we've aged up. So a lot of our age, meet and greets, I would say are younger because the parents bring them. And then the actual attendees, other than the meet and greet people, were around my age.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's it like doing the podcast live?
Terrifying because I just talk and I talk and I talk. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to edit that one out later, maybe. But a lot of people just heard that. So
So it doesn't completely go into the void.
Exactly.
People have actually listened to this out of my mouth.
A couple hundred people every night.
Okay. Also, I want to talk about Honey Pop Beauty. Is this a thing that's still happening?
Yeah, well, I think I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it. It started out as before I even started my whole health journey is when I started or came up with the idea. So that has grown so much as I've grown. And so now I'm at this point where I'm like, okay, I'm not really sure what I want to do. I would love to expand more with it, but also like I've changed completely as a person. My interests have changed. Everything about my lifestyle has changed. Like when I started out doing that, my lifestyle was so sedentary. Yeah. And I was just like hanging out at home all the time. And I was like hanging out with my friends and dogs doing girls' nights all the time. So I was like, oh, I'll do a face mask. Like that was fun at the time. Now I'm like never home. So I never really have time to do that. Yeah. So it's kind of like seeing where I want to go with the brand and kind of changing and evolving with my new lifestyle. So I have really no idea what I'm going to do.
Welcome to the club. We're all kind of floundering right now. It's
a good
real
club
fun.
To be in. I love it.
I want to go back to you punching your brother in the face. I realized I didn't get to hear this story. Okay. Can I hear this story?
You know, I don't even know I didn't know I ever talked about this. My brother, I'm sure, would love to go off. I remember I just wanted to use the washer, but he was using it. He wouldn't let me use it, so I just punched him in the face. And then my dad had to like break us apart. I don't remember ever telling anyone about this. I don't think it was as dramatic as it seems. I just remember being like physically held back by my dad and let me like try to throw punches. So that was it.
A girl's got to clean her clothes.
Exactly.
You also, going back now to fitness journey, love a Soul Cycle.
Yes.
Have you seen, I mean, in LA, tons of celebrities frequent Soul Cycle. Have you seen many there?
Never have I seen
Really?
any. Well, I think I kind of got into it. I feel like it's not that trendy anymore.
Oh.
I feel like in the beginning,
I
it
missed
was
the
like,
whole goddamn wave.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I had been in the beginning because I would have loved to like sweat next to Justin Bieber or something. Actually, fun fact, I've become best. I do this weird thing where I like target an instructor and I'm like, I want to be your friend.
Yeah.
At one point, I accidentally dated one without knowing I was dating one. I like met the parents. I did all this stuff and I was like, candlelit dinners.
Yeah, you gave me a ring.
Watched
it
him
was
surf.
weird.
Exactly. Like I was in a white dress. I didn't know how I ended up. I was very confused how that one happened, but we don't talk to him anymore. But I've become best friends. I found a gay one. Best friends.
There you go. Safe.
Fully crisis averted with that one. And so I became best friends with him. And he told me that Justin Bieber would like a ride with him occasionally in the beginning, but he would like book out like a whole like square of bikes around him so no one could like be next to him. Isn't that so interesting? And he also told me
it's not that big of a room.
It's not. Well, so that's like $500 every class, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the money, but he would say how the classes are only 45 minutes, but he would come in 10 minutes late. I also don't know if I'm not allowed to tell the story.
I mean, Justin is a huge fan of the podcast. He will hear this story.
He will be filing a lawsuit. He said that he would come in like 10 to 15 minutes late, be in the middle of like a square of bikes, and then leave like 5 minutes early. So it's only a 45-minute class. So he would really only ride for about 3 songs and then leave.
And he's also making so much more of a scene by coming in late to this like empty area of bikes and then leaving while everyone's still like doing their cool downs.
Exactly. I don't understand what he got out of that, but
I mean, he's an enigma to us all.
He really is. Apparently, then he would like strip down his Calvins just like in the like area in like the open area. Which is also a side, like TMZ would pay good money for that.
Yeah.
I would get a good picture and then pay for my Soul Cycle for the year with that. But yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Have you ever seen any like, well, obviously you've probably seen photos of fans taking inappropriate pictures of you. Have you ever had like the weirdest fan experience?
Weirdest?
Or just like not even weird in a negative sense necessarily, just like
strange.
Yeah.
One time, I feel like I have 2-ish stories. Nothing really that crazy happens to me. I feel like everyone's always pretty respectful. I'm not like a David Dobrik or like a Jake Paul, obviously.
Sure.
Like I wish. No, I don't wish.
No,
actually.
no. I was like, you don't
wish.
have,
no.
Baby girl, you don't wish that.
Actually, by this story, you would know I don't wish. I was trying to wait for my car at the valet at the Grove.
Okay.
And then like about 10 girls got out of like a car and just like formed a circle and just started screaming. I was like, where's Ariana Grande? Like, what's going on? And then they huddled around me and start just like form a C around me and just start screaming. And my like immediate response is like, it's like fight or flight.
Yeah.
I like was like, I need water. And I just like ran to like grab a water bottle. My friend's just stuck there. He's just like, what's going on? And I just like ran away. And then they all just like take their cameras out and start like filming me or screaming.
Oh no.
And I like didn't know what to do. So I don't think I'd be good in those situations. And I feel like that was just like, I got in the car.
That sounds terrifying.
It was
10 little girls forming a like,
like a
V
formation,
like Mighty Ducks formation around you, and then you're just like, I just yelling.
I just literally like run, like just. I didn't even know what to do. I got in the car, and I always ask my friends as I like leave these situations, like, was I nice? Because I truly black out.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to.
There's no prep for a situation like that.
No.
Yeah.
And then like other people who are waiting for their cars were also looking like, who the fuck is this girl? And I'm just like, I don't even know. And then another time I went to Hawaii. This was like years ago. This was very early on in my YouTube career. So I had never really still haven't really experienced much like this, but I remember I tweeted out that I was like in Hawaii or whatever, and then some girls like messaged me that they wanted to come meet me, but I didn't really know what to do, and I was kind of confused. So I was just like, oh, I'm going to the mall. Like, if you want to meet up there, like we should totally meet up. And then they like something happened where they like couldn't meet me, and they like were just DMing me all these things. And then I was like, okay, whatever. Got back to my hotel room, and there's 2 presents sitting on my bed, like in my room. And I was just so confused. And I still don't really understand, but I think they went to the hotel, told them they were like looking for me, and
so they got you to leave the room.
I don't know.
Wait, did they? This sounds.
Well, we're friends now, and I've actually.
I feel like that's how all your crazy stories end.
We're all
friends now.
I appreciated it. I feel like they're very nice. One has a baby. She seems very sweet. I never fully asked. I think either like they asked the hotel to let them up and put them in my rooms, or they like gave it to the hotel staff, or like, please put them in the room.
Okay.
But this was also like 2013, so like it wasn't I mean, still should have been a big deal, but I feel like now, like, because hotels know also, like, maybe we shouldn't, like, do that, or they say no, or, like, I get calls to the hotels now, like, hi, you have a package, like, some people want to deliver, and you're like, no, please, sorry, no, thank you. It's interesting sometimes. Nothing like crazy, but like those little things.
Yeah. Where you're like, you know that it's all like coming from a good place, but there's a little bit like, if this was a middle-aged man doing this, this would be a different scenario.
The police would have been called.
Yes. Okay, who texts and calls each other more about their everyday struggles, you or Alicia?
Oh, I definitely call her a lot more.
Really?
And text her a lot more. And I'm also like the type of like incessant texter where it's like line, like sentences rather than like paragraphs.
Wait, so you send multiple texts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say if I'm trying to tell her one story, there's about 25 texts. And then also if she doesn't reply within an hour and I have something else to say, I just continue talking until I'm like, she'll see it eventually. Once she's free. She's obviously very busy.
She's very busy.
Very busy.
That's very funny. Do you guys have like a safe word when you guys like get out of social situations together?
Oh, there's a thing we say. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I'm going to.
That's my favorite way for a story to start.
I'm going to. Can I say it? He's also her publicist. Yeah.
But we also can edit out anything after the fact if you go back and you're like, not so safe.
It's not me. It's not bad. It's just like if we're in public and then one of us, the thing is, I think sometimes subscribers don't realize how apparent they're being. They're like, oh my God. Da, 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 and you're like 2 feet away. And so we just like whisper to each other. We say, you've got mail. And that's when you know there's someone around. So you got to act a certain way. You got to like be aware, be on your best behavior.
That's great. I mean, because you developed like this very keen perception when you know that someone's like noticed you.
Exactly. Or like there's a camera on.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's so nuts. Mm-hmm. But also that's great. That's a great catchphrase.
She started it. I can't take any credit. She taught it to me throughout our friendship. So we're at the Grove and we're just like doing something stupid. It's, you've got mail.
Oh,
you just like stand a little taller.
Okay. Ex-neighbor Melissa.
Oh my God.
What's this story?
Did I name her Melissa?
Quote Melissa.
Oh my God. Is that the name I gave her?
I believe so.
Basically, I had dropping out of 1 year and 3 weeks of college. I moved to LA and I had just moved in on my own for the first time ever.
Right.
I think it was like maybe a couple weeks in to living alone. I get this, maybe even like the first week. It was very new.
Okay.
I get a knock on my door. I open it up. And luckily, it was always when a friend was there. So I was never like alone, but they just weren't staying the night. And so I get a knock on my door and this woman, her name, I guess I named her Melissa. I totally forgot.
Melissa.
She was, she lived right directly underneath me.
Okay.
And the first time she came over and was like, hi, I just want to like, she was wearing, I vividly remember, Air Jordans. She was about 5'8", very short buzz cut. Air Jordans, it like, whatever Michael Jordan, like basketball shorts, light blue, those shimmery ones.
Yep.
White Hanes tank top. She's like, hey, just want to like introduce myself. I was like, hi, nice to meet you. She's like, I brought you over a gift. I was also underage, but she gave me champagne. So I was like, thanks. So I took it, obviously.
Thank you.
And then she's like, I just want to like introduce myself. Like, can I come in? I was like, okay. So she like walks into my place and then her little like half balding dog named Shadow also runs in. I have a dog. And my dog's like, what the fuck? Get this thing. I'm not even kidding. She's like, get this thing out of my house. So I like pick up my dog. Shadow's like running around. I have a friend who's just sitting on the couch, like chilling. Essentially, long story short, she like, it was very nice the first time.
Yeah.
After that, over the next like couple months or so, she would like come over, but she'd be belligerently drunk like banging on my door and like screaming at me and like, or like trying to come over, trying to hang out all the time. And it just got to this point where like it was so it was just, and you know,
it's invasive.
It was completely invasive. I felt violated. And then I would like tell the apartment complex, but you know how none of them care,
They don't do anything, yeah.
They're like, oh, sorry. And I'm like,
and then you just feel unsafe.
Exactly. And she was just like, I felt like she was going to like hurt me sometimes.
Yeah.
So eventually I moved out. But my dumbass moved down just 2 doors down because I fully stayed in the same building. Not even same building, same hallway.
You're like, I have to save myself.
Exactly.
I'll be over there.
Exactly. I moved 2 doors down to the next unit over, essentially. And but I fully was like, I my theory was she would just get so drunk and she would get mad that I was like stomping my feet when I wasn't. I was sitting, but it was just
she would come up with complaints.
Exactly.
Oh,
so she
God.
just got so drunk in her head, and I think she was also very lonely and just
Yeah.
all these things. So she would just like try to hang out, and then when I wouldn't want to hang out, she would just get mad. So then she's like, "You're stomping," and
Ugh.
so I fully convinced myself that if I had moved just even one door over,
She'll never find out.
She would never. She wouldn't care anymore. I remember one time she even when I did live directly above her, I got a new car, and that day she came over to my apartment and was like, "Hey." I was like, "Hi." She's like, "So you got a new car?" Like the day of.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like a lot of weird stuff. So I moved over, and I was like, if I move over, she can't get mad at me because I'm not stomping on her ceiling anymore.
Mhm.
So I remember a new girl moved in. I was like, "Oh, sweet baby angel. I'm so sorry." She was around my age too. I think she was like 20, 21. And I was about to leave for like Playlist Live or something back when I used to go to those. And I remember it was like 2 a.m. I was like packing my suitcase, and I just hear like the loudest banging and screaming of my life. And I like, obviously it was only 2 doors down. So I like poke my head out, and she's just banging on this poor girl's door. And I was like I think I vlogged it. I think I got like audio of it. Actually, before this, let me rewind. My aunt, who lived a couple miles away from me at the time, was, I didn't want to tell my mom because I knew my mom would make me move home. And I was like, I can't move home. So I told my aunt, it was like really cool. And I always kept her updated with things. And then after like the 4th or 5th incident, she was like, "Fuck this. Like, I'm coming over." So she drove over. I still had the bottle of champagne. I was using it as evidence now. If I've ever needed like leverage in this story. So she came over and took the champagne and went down. And I remember I recorded audio because I lived in like an outdoor complex, like here. And my aunt was just like, "You need to leave my niece alone. Like, this is absolutely like unacceptable. Like, leave her alone. She's underage. Like, you're bothering her. Like, this is not okay." And then I just hear this like top of her lungs scream like, "Fuck you, get off my property. You don't live here." My aunt just chucks the champagne and past her through the door. It shatters and runs back up to my apartment. So that happened. Then I moved. Then I hear this banging on this poor girl's door. Her name was Justine, sweet Justine. We'd become Snapchat friends. And I think I had warned her of just like, "Just so you know, like I used to live here just in case." And this was the first incident. It was like the worst I've ever seen. Wow. And so she's like banging, like screaming. And the poor girl is like inside terrified. Yeah. And I like recorded some of it. And then suddenly like maybe an hour passes by and I hear like a lot of voices outside. I look outside. There's like 16 policemen outside. Oh my God. And like all this stuff happened. And then her dad ended up being a lawyer. The girl's dad. Yeah, of course. Wow. Lucky Melissa. Yeah. So they like a whole lawsuit got involved. They like interrogated me, asked me. Also, Melissa ended up being an Uber driver. So imagine like if she was your Uber driver.
I can't wait.
It was, I know. It was a white Mercedes. Look out, everybody. Oh, don't get Uber selects, whatever. And so she got kicked out. And then the other girl moved out. And then I also moved out. Yeah. And then that was it. That's the end of the story.
I hope that your paths don't cross again because that sounds insane.
I kind of do. Yeah. I need a new story time. I need some more content.
Also, thank you for being here. I know you went to see Ariana Grande last night.
I have to tell you, I did not drink any alcohol because I was trying to save my voice for the podcast. I took one for the team.
You're a real sweet, kind, wonderful human. Meanwhile, I'm drinking a Bloody Mary while we're recording this.
I love it. What time is it?
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's the time it is.
How was the concert?
Incredible.
You're very much like a big music person. You go to Coachella a lot. We have a ton of questions about Chance the Rapper for you eventually.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I mean, he's not here, but
so podcast is done.
Yeah. What's been your favorite concert that you've ever gone to?
Ooh, good question. I think I can tell you my least favorite.
Yeah, I would love to hear that.
EDC.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's that? Electric Dance?
Electric Daisy Carnival.
Oh, okay.
It's like a very true rave.
That's in Vegas, right?
Yes, I went to Vegas and I went to New York. So I went to both. Mm-hmm. And but they were both for brand deals. And so being there, like working, very interesting. Yeah. And
those are intense if you're not going for the pure joy of
going to a rave. Exactly. Yeah. What's interesting is that they start at about midnight and go till like 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. So I would arrive at like 11 p.m. to work and I would just be, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, but, that's intense.
I do love Coachella though.
Yeah. How many times have you gone?
I think this was my third year going. And then I went weekend 1 and 2 last year and this year.
Sweet. Okay. What's your biggest piece of advice for anyone that's never been?
Ooh. I would just say prepare yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like you just gotta like mentally prepare yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw a meme saying that Coachella is like the Olympics for influencers.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it's very true. Very, very true.
You get them pics.
Exactly. I'd say I'm like a solid like bronze medalist for it. I'm working my way up.
Oh, she's so humble.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna take one last break, and then when we get back, we have a billion Twitter questions for you. So we'll be right back with more Not Too Deep.
Yay.
Not too deep.
When it comes to shopping for clothes, most of us are amateurs. I don't mean to drag you, but you know it's true. So why not let a professional handle it? With Stitch Fix, a stylist will do all the work for you. Stitch Fix is an online personal styling service that delivers your favorite clothing, shoes, and accessories directly to you. You just complete a style profile, and your expert personal stylist will send you a box of hand-picked items from brands you know and love with exclusive styles you won't find elsewhere. They even have men's and kids' boxes. I know for all you kids that love listening to this podcast, you got a box with Stitch Fix. With no subscription required, pick between automatic shipments or getting new pieces on demand. Shipping, exchanges, and returns are always free. Plus, the $20 styling fee is automatically applied towards anything you keep from your box. Get started today with stitchfix.com/grace and get an extra 25% off when you keep everything in your box. That's stitchfix.com/grace, stitchfix.com/grace.
Not too deep.
If there is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, BetterHelp Online Counseling can actually help. They offer licensed professional counselors who are specialized in issues like depression, anxiety, relationships, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, self-esteem, and more. Connect with your professional counselor in a safe and private online environment. Get help at your own time, at your own pace. Anything you share is confidential and it's convenient. You can schedule secure video or phone sessions, as well as chat and text with your therapist. What a millennial way to get help. If for some reason you're not happy with your counselor, you can always request a new one at any time for no additional charge. And best of all, it's affordable. And Not Too Deep with Grace Helbig listeners get 10% off your first month with the discount code GRACE. So get started today by going to betterhelp.com/grace. Fill out a questionnaire that will help assess your needs and match you with a counselor that you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/grace. We're back. Before we get into these Twitter questions real quick, I'm going to ask you the two questions I ask every single guest that's on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And the first is, who, alive or dead, would you most want to throw cold spaghetti at?
I don't know why my brain went to Zac Efron, but I have no reasoning for Zac Efron.
That's a great answer.
That's
I don't
so
think we've ever
mean.
gotten Zac Efron.
He seems nice.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a malicious thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
can
could be
like,
an enjoyable experience.
I mean, he might be soup. That might be his kink. You don't know.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he seems like one of those guys.
Like it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say Zac Efron.
Okay, I love that answer. The other question I ask every single guest is to tell us your worst pants shitting story or like a close call, but you can only use 3 words or 3 small phrases. So, for example, mine is college jogging front lawn. Oh, my God. Yeah. It can be a pissing your pants story. It can be just a bathroom emergency story.
I'm trying to imagine where you were at right now.
Oh, I was on the front lawn, like 5 miles from my parents' house.
But in college.
Yeah, but I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. I had a recent experience.
Yes.
Coachella?
That's very recent.
Billie Eilish just made it.
That's great. I mean, if you want to tag that onto the advice for anyone at Coachella.
Yes.
Locate all the bathrooms.
Know your surroundings. Yeah. Be aware of your surroundings. Yes. You've got mail with the bathrooms.
Exactly. Okay, let's get into these Twitter questions. Someone wants to know, which alcohol would you never drink again and why?
Oh my God. Oh, I've got 2 really good stories.
Okay.
I also love that this is very on brand for me now. My meet and greets for the shows, for the podcast shows, changed from receiving stuffed animals to handles of Tito's, which I think I seamlessly
That's the most perfect
that.
glow up ever.
Thank you. Trust me.
That's
I eyed it when I walked in.
I'm a Tito's soda girl all damn day.
Me too. I'm actually a Tito's water Crystal Light.
What the fuck?
Delicious. I highly recommend.
What? I've never heard of this
fruity
drink.
dream. Okay, but back to alcohol I hate.
Have you named that drink?
Oh my God, no.
You guys should name that drink. Is it just a you drink or is it like a you and Alicia
I think
drink?
it's like a skinny bitch drink. Like
Okay.
it's a well-known thing in that realm. But things
you wouldn't ever drink again.
I mean, I would do it again. I don't have anything I wouldn't do again.
Okay.
But just a bad experience was I went to a bar in New York recently and some subscriber came up and was like, I'm going to buy you shots. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And she bought me something called a pickleback.
Oh,
Have you tried?
Yeah, girl, I was big into picklebacks before I left New York.
Is it a thing? A New York thing?
I lived in Brooklyn for like 5 or 6 years before I moved out here to Los Angeles.
Okay.
And right when like the year before I was leaving, picklebacks became this like trendy Williamsburg started thing that everyone was doing, whiskey and pickle. And I never... It's whiskey pickle juice, and the pickle juice cancels out the whiskey. It's like
incredible, though.
It's a magic trick in your mouth. And I never drink whiskey, but I was like, I'll drink this because I like pickle juice, this cancels it out. But they're dangerous.
It was, well, I enjoyed the experience. It did work very well. And and I had never had whiskey up until that.
Oh,
night.
yeah.
And then I also forgot the whole like clear versus non-clear liquor thing.
Sure.
So went hard with the vodka water crystal. So that's that you can imagine how my night went after that.
Your body's not gonna love that petri dish of
exactly. It was a night of regret. But now I know for next time. So I will be doing them again. I just need to, I've conditioned.
Stay the course.
Exactly.
Someone wants to know, was YouTube your original plan? Or were you originally going to pursue a different career, which you kind of talked about, that you went to school and then YouTube kind of became this thing?
I was going to try and be a physician's assistant. And
really?
Yeah, that was the full plan. That's why I did psych, because I was going to do that, meet all the prereqs, go to PA school.
There you go.
And then...
Well, that'll always be there. If the internet shuts down tomorrow.
That is true, but also recently someone got a cut on their knee and I almost passed out. So, like, that is also a word of advice. If you want to go into the medical field, practice that beforehand. I don't think that's something you can, like, get used to.
Yeah, I don't think you don't want to be operating or helping someone and, like, vomiting at the same time. Yeah. Someone wants to know, YouTube celebrity crush.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, there's this guy that I have a crush on, but I don't know his name, but I've also met him multiple times.
Oh, okay.
His channel is The Odd Ones Out. Do you know him?
I'm not familiar, no.
It's like an animated channel.
Cool.
I have a weird thing for like animation channels and just like animated shows in general. I really love them. And so I think he's so cool. And I don't know his name, but I feel like it's okay because he is an animated channel. So like,
I also feel like that's like a Google search away.
Yes. Why I've never searched it, I'm not sure.
It makes him mysterious.
I feel like his name is Ryan.
It's James.
Oh, it's James.
Let's edit that out. I think his name is James.
His name is, quote, Melissa. Someone wants to know, what's the worst job you've ever had?
I've actually never had a job before.
Really?
YouTube was my first job.
Was your first ever job? Wow.
Well, I tried to do a pet service when I was younger. Went door to door. Actually, no. I made flyers and put them in people's mailboxes saying that I would watch their pets. And then someone came out and said it's illegal to put things in their mailboxes. So that was my first job.
Wait, how old were you?
Like 12.
But that's very entrepreneurial.
Thank you. I think that taught me my work ethic I have today. It set me up.
You got to go out there and get it until someone tells you this is illegal. Someone wants to know, what's your favorite cheat meal?
I do this thing where I leave the bar. My cheat meals are always when I'm drunk.
Yes.
You know, obviously.
Yes, so I just call that meals.
Just food. Just consuming.
Uh-huh.
I'll like plan it where I'm leaving the bar, start the Postmates so that by the time I get home, my food arrives.
Oh, I love that even in your drunk state, you're so efficient.
Fully prepared. Like I've got it down to a science and I like kind of like, I decide my cheat meal before I go out too. So it's like, I know like the wait time for it too. It's like either 30, 45 or like a 55, 60. Like
God, you and Mamie are the same person. We were flying back from New York and she was buying herself keto groceries on the plane. So it landed exactly when she landed. I was like, ugh.
Otherwise, it's like, it just doesn't work out. And like, I've learned the hard way it doesn't. So I time it. And it's usually, there's this place in downtown called LA Cafe.
Okay.
And they're open 24/7. And they have like, I usually get about like 5 things. And I just like pick at all of it. It's like a burger and fries. Mm-hmm. There are these really good tacos. They have this like cereal milkshake. And then
That's dangerous.
Their potato chips are really good too. So it's just all of that. And just me at my table
Just
smiling. It really is.
Just being like, I've earned this.
And exactly. And I walk into the doorman and they're like, oh, she's back. And I'm like, send him up when he comes. I'm not even kidding. Like I'm on a first name basis with all of them. They love it.
That's so funny. Someone wants to know, who was your childhood crush?
Jesse McCartney.
Oh, really?
Yes. That was, and I would
What
buy.
is he famous for again? Why do I know
don't want
him?
another pretty face.
Yeah.
I would buy them. Well, my dad would buy me the magazines at like Borders bookstore, and then I would rip out all his posters, and I had a full collage wall of like about 5 feet by about 10 feet, just plastered of his face, which I really wish I had pictures of. I just don't.
Have you ever met him?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, there's still time. I feel like you're in a position where that can happen.
I think he got married, so I don't think I want to meet him. And you know what, though?
I mean,
not all marriages. I think they said all 60% end in divorce. So.
You guys have guests on your podcast? Just get them.
Oh my God, don't tease me. Can we work on that?
Someone wants to know, what ways do you find to de-stress on your own besides working out?
I honestly just hold my dog and cry. I'm not even kidding. It's a lot of just like cuddling with my dog. There are often tears.
Yeah.
Just like
I think that's a great piece of advice. Just like let it out because the dog gets it.
You can't suppress it. I feel like for a long time I suppressed, and then after the podcast I realized like, wow, you got some issues, man, and now I just like let it out. It's a healthy thing though.
Oh, 100%. Rather out than in. Speaking of dogs, someone said if you could be a specific breed of puppy, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. Not a golden doodle. Golden doodles freak me out. Have you seen one? They're so big and like
I know, because the word doodle to me insinuates little, even though, but like it's a, what is that? It's a
golden retriever with a poodle, but like a standard poodle.
Oh,
there are many that live in my building, and they get in, and I'm always just like, cute dog. I realized
like,
it's like a few weeks ago. They're just freaky. I think about that often. I think I would just love to specifically be my dog because she's got it made.
Daisy?
Daisy, yes. Yeah. Good research.
How long did you have Daisy, or how long have you had Daisy?
Well, I got her, I read about after the 3 weeks of dropping out, so I got her in college.
Okay.
She lived in that house with me. Should not have had a dog in college, let me tell you that much. She's been through it with me.
Wow.
But she just like lives her life. She's right now at the groomers, at the healthy spot, getting her nails trimmed. Like she lives the life.
She's a full LA dog now.
She is.
That's
She went from the Inland Empire to LA. She really made it. She did.
Someone was asking, ordering takeout after a night of drinking, pretty or basic? I think it's both.
Oh yeah. I'm smiling.
Someone wants to know, what's your favorite and least favorite YouTube trend?
Ooh, favorite trend. Man, I really liked the.
Let's go with least favorite. What's your least favorite?
I think which granted, I think I've done a couple. The 24-hour challenges were really dumb.
I don't even know what these are.
It's where you like lock yourself in a room for 24 hours, but you choose what room. So like Alicia did her bathroom or like the closet. Granted, I'm planning on doing one very soon, but I think that they are very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird trend. I know that someone at Summit recently said they went to prison for 24 hours. Just like 24-hour challenges are interesting, but they are very entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm
seeing the one now of the person in front of me orders all my stuff.
Through. Yeah.
I don't even know how that works. How do you get them to order everything for you?
That's what I said until I had Alicia explain it to me. You go to the drive-through and then when you go to order, you're like, I'll have whatever the person in front of me just ordered.
Oh,
but
interesting.
Like, I don't know. I never got into the mukbangs, never got into any of that stuff, so it doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you try to keep up with, like, how do you get your ideas for your content? Just your own brain?
That's a good question.
Your own brain?
Yeah, let's do this. Sounds good. I wanted to throw a birthday party, so I contacted him. He threw a full birthday party, and I was like, well, this gives me content for a month, so let's just ride this out. So that gave me a full series. I was like, let's make it a series.
Yeah, there you go.
That was it.
But that's the thing, serialize everything.
Exactly, yeah.
Someone wants to know, if you had a warning label, what would it say?
Caution. I don't know. Beware.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that covers all the bases.
Yeah.
What's your one regret in life? Very
This
easy
is a
to
good
answer
segue.
question.
As I'm sitting here, okay, I'm going to use this as my segue.
Okay.
I pulled up some pictures that I wanted. I think I've been watching YouTube for a long time, as we've been talking about on this podcast.
Just full disclosure, Remi came in and was like, I have a surprise. I'm going to do something at some point during your podcast. It was the most fucking ominous thing ever.
I've been holding it in for a solid, 40 minutes
It's
or so?
happening to me now, apparently.
This I would date back to, I think, 2012, 2013. So I was just starting my channel.
Yes.
I was about to drive myself to Walmart to buy myself some ASB camp
no.
supplies. I'm going to need you to close your eyes
Uh-huh.
and then just look at those. You could scroll 5 times.
What? 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 Oh my God! Y'all Grace facing.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yes.
Did you know you actually hazed me one time?
Oh, I bet I did.
In 2012.
Oh my God! Also, and then there's you
that's
just being beautiful.
That was just me yesterday.
Oh my God! This is nuts.
I don't even remember the question, but I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to for my whole life.
Love it.
The friend in the pictures, I contacted her yesterday and said, I want you to know I'm going to be on her podcast, and she lost her shit.
That's incredible.
Lost it.
Oh, this is so much sweeter and nicer than what I thought it was going to be. Like me shit faced with you at VidCon.
Oh, I wish. Let's make that happen this year, though.
Which there's a lot of those photos circulating around somewhere. Oh, that's incredible.
I
That's
was
so
the
cool.
biggest fan of the show.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, it was really fun. And Grace Face, oh, long live. God bless. I mean, also, I never came up with it. It's an actual pose that existed in the world.
Wait, really?
Well, I mean, people called it Grace Face because I started doing it, but
I don't even remember what the question was, but I figured that was my segue.
That answered it. Whatever the question was.
I want you to know the day that your video came out where you hazed me, I screamed bloody murder in my dance class. Was literally running laps and then ended up in the fetal position on my side, but spinning around.
Like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It was that. And my dance teacher was very, very concerned for my health.
This is not the dance I taught you.
This is not the choreography. You're going rogue on us.
That's incredible. Well, thanks for watching for so long.
Thank you for having me today. I was hyperventilating on my way here.
No, this is so, trust me, I've been watching all of you guys like a full-time creep for years because I love, genuinely, it's so soothing to me to watch beauty guru videos because I'm this is not the life I can ever lead. But I love how it's calming in some way to watch vicariously these other girls actually thrive with their hygienes and their interior designs and all of it.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
An honor.
Okay, a couple more questions.
Yes.
And we're almost through the end. Someone wants to know, what are you binging right now?
Planet Earth.
Oh, yeah.
I love Planet Earth.
Oh, it's really, if you ever smoke weed and watch Planet Earth, it's a real good time. Just putting that out there.
I do it sober, but that sounds like a good time too.
Oh, it's great. Everything looks like a cartoon.
Oh.
It looks like a Pixar movie, and you'll scream at your TV.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm giving life hacks too. I'm also a lifestyle
yes,
guru.
You are. You picked up on us.
Someone wants to know, is she single? If not, hey there.
Wow.
We'll move on. What's your YouTube guilty pleasure? Or is there is there someone you follow on Instagram or something you follow on Instagram or Twitter that's a full guilty pleasure?
I don't know if it's a guilt. I feel like this is just a weird thing I do, but while I'm doing my eating after a night out, I like to watch health videos.
No, that's I'll be on a treadmill watching Food Network.
Yeah, I do that too. It's one or the other. That's so true. Okay, that makes me feel better about it.
It feels like you're in balance in that point.
It's it's not me now, but that'll be me tomorrow. Yeah. That's how I think about it.
Okay, last question. Someone wants to know, what's your favorite question to be asked?
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe it hasn't happened yet.
You know what I like? I like when people like when I do a Q&A or I'm doing this to ask me questions and people are just like, how are you doing? Instead of something kind of invasive or kind of mean, it's always just you genuinely want to know.
Yeah.
I think that's always a nice thing.
And it's always a nice prompt for you to check in with yourself too, to be like, how am I doing?
Exactly.
Instead of that just standard response of I'm fine. Wait a minute. Am I fine?
And then I can hold my dog and cry.
Exactly. Oh, Remi, this was so fun. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Before we completely finish, every guest on the podcast gets a personalized fortune cookie from us
Shut
to them.
up.
So you can open it and read whatever fortune is inside. It might have something to do with you. I don't know.
Oh my God. Wait, there's nothing. Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was empty. It's is this a sick joke?
It's a weird prank that we pull.
Okay. This is really fun. I need to start doing this, Felicia. Okay. Your brother lied. He totally does watch your videos. He's not even listening to the podcast now. Shane, we know you're out there. He actually, I think he does listen to everything I do. Love you,
Really?
Shane.
Oh,
He's a big fan. He's grown to be a fan. As I give him money when he asks, he's grown to be a fan of me. I kid you not.
That's amazing. Okay, Remi, where can people find you, the podcast, everything you're up to if they don't know?
My channels are Miss Remi Ashton and Rem Life, and the podcast is Pretty Basic.
Sweet. Are you guys doing more live shows? Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
It was emotionally draining. So I need a little break for a minute.
Yeah.
And then we'll
I
see.
get that.
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
Follow her on all social media platforms because you'll get all the up-to-date information there.
Yes.
And thank you again for being here. We'll see you guys next time on Not Too Deep. Goodbye.
Bye.
Too deep, too deep, too deep, not too deep with Grace Helbig.
Whatever struggles you're facing, whether it's depression or anxiety or trauma or grief, BetterHelp can connect you with a professional counselor in a safe and private online environment. It's so convenient. You can schedule secure video or phone sessions or chat and text with your therapist, and anything you share is completely confidential. Best of all, it is affordable. And Not Too Deep with Grace Helbig listeners even get 10% off your first month with the discount code GRACE. So get started by going to betterhelp.com/Grace, filling out a questionnaire, and get matched with a counselor you'll love today.